All right, welcome. So today we're jumping into Chapter 12 of LSAT Test Prep Mastery, and the whole point here is to figure out how to take all that crazy test day pressure and turn it into your absolute best performance.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to get real about what makes test day so tough. Then, we'll dive into all the prep you need to do before the exam even starts. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty tactics for the day itself, how to master your mindset, and then we'll wrap it all up to get you on that path to mastery.
Okay, so first things first. Let's really frame the challenge we're up against, because it's probably not what you think.
And this is so important to get. The LSAT isn't just about what you know. It's a full-on test of your resilience, your strategic thinking, and your ability to pull it all together when the clock is ticking and the pressure is really on.
So how in the world do you prepare for that kind of pressure? Well, success on test day doesn't just happen when you log in. It's built way before that, and it really stands on two key pillars that are just as important as each other.
I love this way of thinking about it. Your logistical readiness, that's your hardware, your computer, your internet, all your physical stuff. Your mental readiness, that's your software, your focus, your confidence, your attitude. And look, if your hardware or your software crashes, you're kind of sunk, right? You need both running perfectly.
Okay, let's dig into the logistics. These four things, they are absolutely non-negotiable. Seriously, do these checks a few days before the test. This is the single easiest way to kill a massive source of panic before it even starts. Trust me, you'll thank yourself later.
All right, next up, your materials. Just getting this simple checklist done and having everything laid out the night before has a huge calming effect. And that little tip about the backup screenshot of your ticket, that's just a fantastic insurance policy for your own peace of mind. Now let's switch over to your mental readiness, your software. Making these things a habit in the week before the test can be a total game changer. And I really want to zero in on that fourth point. Focus on execution, not perfection. Listen, even the top scorers make mistakes. Your job isn't to be flawless, it's to apply your strategies over and over again.
All right, you've done the prep work. So now let's talk about the main event, the test itself. How do we make every single second count?
Time management is probably your most powerful weapon on the LSAT. These numbers here aren't meant for you to be doing math in your head during the test. The goal is to practice so much that this pacing becomes second nature, like a gut feeling, so you just know when you're on track without thinking about it. This right here is what we call strategic surrender. One crazy hard question is worth exactly the same as one easy one. Your mission is to scoop up as many points as you can, and that means knowing when to flag a question, take a quick guess, and just move on. Don't let your ego sink your score. Okay, big rule for the LSAT. No penalty for wrong answers. That means you have to answer every single question, but we don't guess randomly. This three-step process turns every guess into a smart one. And that second one, scope awareness, oh man, that is a huge score booster. The test makers love to write answer choices that are true, but have nothing to do with the point of the passage. Always be asking, is this what they were really talking about?
Okay, let's get real for a second and talk about the inner game. You can know all the strategies in the world, but if anxiety hijacks your brain, none of it matters. So how do you manage that pressure when it's at its peak?
First off, it's super helpful to just understand what test anxiety is. It isn't just being nervous. It's got physical parts, emotional parts, and cognitive parts. Just being able to recognize it, to say, okay, my heart's racing, that's a physical thing. That's the first step to taking back control.
So, what do we do about it? How do you fight back? Well, here are your 5 best defenses. And you see the pattern, right? Preparation, planning, practice, healthy habits. Almost everything that really works happens before you even sit down for the test. Anxiety loves uncertainty, and preparation is how you destroy uncertainty.
And for staying sharp during the exam, these strategies are your lifeline. And that second point, treating each question like a fresh start, that's massive. Don't let one tough game ruin the next section. Also, never, ever underestimate the power of a tiny 15-second micro break. Just close your eyes, take a breath, and reset. It's a secret weapon.
Okay, let's pull it all together now. We're going to zoom out and look at what the path to mastery really looks like, not just for one day, but for this whole journey.
This really nails the core of mastering the LSAT. See, it's not a one-and-done thing. It's not about cramming. It's this constant loop. You practice, you review what went wrong, and I mean really review, and then you tweak your approach. That's it. That's how you get better.
And in the end, it really boils down to these two things working together. You need that perseverance, that grit to just keep going when it feels like you've hit a wall, but you also need the adaptability, the wisdom to say, you know what, this isn't working, and be flexible enough to try a new approach.
And please, always remember the why behind all this. This is so much bigger than just a test score. Every single time you break down an argument or diagram a game, you are building the exact analytical muscles that form the foundation of a legal career. You're not just prepping for a test, you're literally training to be a lawyer, starting right now.
So let's leave it with this final thought. All that hard work, all that preparation, that is your power. You have earned the right to walk into that test with confidence. So stay focused, stay resilient, and most importantly, believe in what you can do. You've got this. Good luck.